Welcome back to Otv Blazers.
I'm Dominic.
And I'm Temeskin.
This month has been full of religious holidays like Vaisakhi, Easter, and the Passover. And another one of these holidays is Ramadan.
This year, Ramadan started on the evening of April 1st and will last until May 1st.
Ramadan is the ninth month of the Muslim year during which Muslims participate in a fasting from sunrise to sunset. Many of our Oldham students celebrate this holiday.
So we talked with the Muslim Student Alliance to learn more.
One of the aspects of Ramadan that surprises many non-Muslims is the act of fasting. Fasting is when someone abstains from eating and drinking, usually done in religious practice.
My name is Noor and I'm the president of the Muslim Student Alliance. Ramadan is a month where Muslims fast from sunrise until sunset. We don't eat or drink, and it's basically a time to be spiritual. We pray, we refrain from harmful things like cursing, vaping, like stuff that would harm our bodies. It's also a time for people to gather around with their families. Something I want others to know about Ramadan is it's very stigmatized for being oh, you can't eat or drink, not even water. It's seen as a more negative thing than it actually is. Iftar is basically, so when the prayer Maghrib comes, Maghrib is the sunset prayer. Basically, as soon as that hits, you are allowed to break your fast because Maghrib in Islam is the start of a new day. So a way Overland can help Muslims who are fasting during Ramadan is PE teachers can show a bit more grace to their fasting students. Teachers can also be a lot more lenient on giving out passes for prayer. If a student asks you to pray, just let them go. You can eat in front of us, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. What's it called? It's just a normal time.
My name is Amir and I'm a part of MSA.
My name is Muhammad Hassan. I'm in MSA.
My name is Sandy. I'm in the MSA club.
I started celebrating Ramadan, kind of as soon as I was born, honestly, but I started fasting around 7 or 8.
I started when I was 7 years old.
I actually started celebrating Ramadan starting by the age of 8.
My sleep schedule is really different. I stay up a lot later and then I wake up at dawn, so I get less sleep, and then after school maybe I'll take a nap or something.
Well, for me, I'm part of the volleyball team, so practice is kind of more difficult for me because I'm doing more physical activities.
The Muslim community, we support each other a lot of times, especially when you're sick. You bring food for your neighbor or something, or you invite people to break fast with you, things like that.
We usually break our fast with dates and water, and after that we just start eating. But as an Egyptian, we eat kunafa when we break our fast. When we kunafa, a lot of rice and a lot of meat. Fasting actually affects my face by being close to my God, and it helps me a lot to think about praying the whole day, reading Quran.
I persevere honestly just by knowing that I'm going to be rewarded for what I'm doing, and it's not in vain.
After a month of devoted fasting, the celebration Eid al-Fitr comes, often referenced simply as Eid, translating to festival, and Fitr to breaking the fast.
For Eid, how we celebrate Eid is we just get together, a lot of family, I guess. There's a prayer, we have a big feast. We give each other food, at nighttime. We visit each other, we have a prayer at nighttime called Tarawih.
Ramadan is an ancient holiday, lasting since believed to be 610 AD, and is still celebrated by people of our community today. This is Temeskin signing off.
On April 6th, the food pantry was held in the Overland parking lot. The food pantry is when Overland and Prairie parents are able to receive free food and other items.
We talked to some Overland and Prairie staff to learn more about the food pantry.
When it comes to getting basic necessities like food, it can be difficult to obtain them due to obstacles that may arise. That's why it's important for communities to have services that assist in providing supplies for those around us. One of those services being the Overland and Prairie Food Pantry, which strives to serve our local area.
The goal is to provide families the ability to come get items that they might need when they're already here. So the great thing about having registration in this room is families can see what's available and they can go shop on their own.
All Overland and Prairie staff could utilize the pantry.
All we ask for is the name of your student, and you check in and You come and you fill bags with whatever you need and you go.
The resources that we provide are school supplies, number one. Other things we provide is really non-perishable goods, dry goods, as well as like basic hygiene needs and then basic household needs.
In addition to food, I also provide resources for homelessness, job opportunities, opportunities to learn English, and it honestly could vary depending on what the family asks for. I could put together some resources and also distribute them to the family too.
The pantry gets its resources through a lot of different channels. So when we were starting, it was private donations through RevTrack on the Prairie website. Also, the district has partnerships with a nonprofit called Secor, and that's how we get primarily most donations.
Without the community's generosity, we wouldn't be able to have this pantry, so I'm very thankful for the Overland Prairie community.
In my role as a counselor, I can't give as much time, obviously, to this as possible, and so if people are open and willing to volunteer, I'm happy to put them to work.
I would definitely encourage other people to volunteer because it's important to help where we can.
But the future looks like we have this space and we can continue to grow it and create almost like a grocery store style feel so that people can come choose what they want.
I think it's really important to have accessible resources rather than just resources. So the fact that people can come to their child's school to get what they need, I think it's a really great opportunity.
Sometimes we have families that experience homelessness or parents who experience job loss and cannot afford food for the household, and so I make sure that those parents have access to the food that we have in the food pantry. Because ultimately, if a student comes to school fed, it would lead to their academic success and social emotional well-being and creating a healthy and safer community and environment for our students to learn in.
Thanks to their efforts, the food pantry allows for those in our community to thrive. The food pantry plans to continue their efforts throughout summer and the next school year. If you are interested in volunteering or want more information, reach out to Ms. Khatib in the athletics office or email her at skhatib@cherrycreekschools.org.
As you know, spring sports have started, including track.
We interviewed some of the athletes on the track and field team to know more about the team and the sport overall.
As the grass grows greener and the weather gets warmer, it is clear to see that spring has arrived this quarter. Along with the changing weather, spring sports are paving their way into Overland, where students work hard at practice every day. We decided to take a look at what Overland's track and field athletes are doing this season and get an even deeper insight on each event regarding track and field.
I'm Quincy Humphrey. I'm in 11th grade and I run the 300-meter hurdles, the 110 hurdles, the 4x2 and the 4x4. My first time doing the hurdles was a couple weeks ago, probably like a month and a half ago.
My name is Reem. I'm in 10th grade and I run the 100, 200, 4x1 and 4x2. My first time running the 100 was last year during COVID.
My favorite part of doing track is I just love running.
My favorite part of doing track is really the people. Like your team be really your family for real.
My favorite part of doing track has to be that it's like a very individual sport, and if you mess up, it's on you, and if you do good, it's on you.
My favorite part about doing track is the competition and seeing myself improve over like weeks, like over time.
I think my favorite part of doing track on the distance side is more of like the team community bonding. My favorite event is the 1600. It combines a lot of speed and endurance. It's very challenging, I'd say mostly mentally, but by the end of it, once you finish, it's very rewarding.
Some practices or exercises that you would do for long jump or bounds, jumping practices, practice on taking off from the board.
Our practices vary from like weight room or like outside running track.
We really do a lot of explosive work, footwork.
To practice for shot put, you have to lift. Mostly deadlift, squat, and bench.
We have tempo runs, track runs, which are more like speed runs, and your basic like core workouts and push-ups, strength.
To excel at my event, it takes a lot of speed, stamina, and dedication.
I have to be really consistent with everything.
To be good at my event, you have to be strong and you have to be able to work on your technique.
Like just going to practice and just trying your hardest, giving it your all.
When I'm at a meet, I feel pretty nervous just seeing all the girls out there at once.
it's really a lot of anxiety, but it's like you're excited to see how much you improved.
To gain some more insight on what it takes to complete in track and field, we asked athletes to walk us through each of their events, starting with Komari Owens.
The process of long jump is basically you get your mark, so from where you're running from, where you can catch top speed, and you start running, catch top speed, and you want to hit the board, come off the board, pop up, get good knee drive up, swing the arms up and over, and land, dragging your heels to your butt, basically.
I'm Jason, and this is how I run the 1600. So from the start line, once the gun goes off, everyone starts pretty fast. It's kind of like a stampede. Third lap is really where it starts hurting. Everyone starts pretty much slowing down, so you just gotta kind of hang in there and stay strong. And then once you get to the last lap, usually they shoot off a gun or ring a bell to indicate the last lap. And once you hit that last 200 meters, you just gotta pretty much sprint.
On the whole, Overland's track and field seems to be hard at work this season, and we're looking forward to a great performance for the team.
I'm Temeskin.
And I'm Dominic.
And this is OTV.
That's all we have for you this week, Blazers. Thanks for watching. See you next time.